Let's do this video, baby. Let's do this video. Woo. Okay. Cafecito. What up? I'm coming at you today with a video about the last 6 months of my life living in Kosovo. I am from Mexico and I've been lucky to live in many different countries around the world, but this is not only my first time living in this part of the world, but even visiting the Balkan region. So when I moved here, I didn't know anything about people, food, culture. It was literally like I'm moving to a country that I kind of know where it is in the map, and I read the Wikipedia page, and that's about it. So there has been a very high learning curve in the last 6 months, just doing my best to learn the culture and immerse myself. 6 months isn't a ton of time, to be completely immersed in the culture, but I think it's a good amount of time to give you a good idea about like what life is like, the different quirks, the rhythms, dynamics, and just also enough time to make friendships. So I think it's a good period of time to make my first list of the top 10 things that I have really enjoyed in the last 6 months. So, number one, I would say, is the geography, just because I had never been here before. So, everything is new, and that's super exciting. Also, compared to Latin America or the entire American continent, everything here is super close by. So, just like in Western Europe, here you can grab your car, and in a span of like 4 to 6 hours, you can be in like 10 different countries in the region. So, that's great. I've been able to go to Albania, Macedonia, Greece, and there's still so much more to see. So, geography. All right, let's talk about food. Number two, I have tried a lot of new things, but I think the one thing that has just captivated me and stolen my heart is the burek. I don't actually know if this is originally from this area because you can find it anywhere in the Balkan, and there's different shapes of making it and different fillings. I also had it in Turkey, even though it was different. But the burek here, it's so good. It's this like beautiful, crispy pastry that's stuffed with all kinds of different things, but the best one is spinach and cheese. Mm. So I have at least a burek a week. Number three, I'm going to say family values. One thing I noticed right off the bat after moving here was that there are very strong family bonds. So that is not common everywhere. Like here, it's very different from Mexico and from Latin America. It's definitely not Latin America in many senses. However, in that way, it really makes me think of home because the families here are very united, in the sense that like there may be quite a bit of poverty, but there isn't any homelessness. And that is rooted back to very strong family ties. And I also feel this in the way that people welcome you into their home. So, like when I moved into this house, it's kind of a rural area, so most people around here don't speak any English. It's mostly just the younger generations that speak English. But I met my next door neighbors, which are an elderly couple who are from here, but they speak Spanish. Like, what are the odds that my neighbors speak Spanish? From the first day that I met them and we spoke Spanish together, like they just like invited me into their home, and sometimes I just like wake up in my pajamas and like go over there and have like a morning coffee with my neighbors, and it's just super sweet, and that has definitely made me feel more at home. Number four, coffee culture. Coffee culture here is serious. Albanians take their coffee very seriously, which is awesome if you're a coffee lover because the quality of the coffee is great, and there is like more coffee shops than any other business in the city. People go to coffee shops and just socialize for majority of the day. It's crazy. Like it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If you go to the city center at like 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 4 p.m., like people would just be there having a coffee and hanging out. And that has become a very, very strong part of local culture here. It's like you want to meet for coffee, you want to meet for coffee. Coffee is always somewhere in between the day plans that you make. We're on five, right? Yeah, we're on five. So I'm going to say that as an outsider, I get the sense that there are pretty good standards of living considering the issues that the country has to deal with. So the entire Balkan region has a lot of socio-political tensions, issues, and the minimum wage here is extremely low. I think it's comparable to Mexico. Mexico has the lowest minimum wage in all of Latin America, and it's about the same here. Maybe this goes back to the what I was talking about, family values. There seems to be still like quite a strong like rural kind of like lifestyles and dynamics. So a lot of people still raise their own food. Everyone in my street has their own chickens. I really wanted to get some, but it's quite a bit of work. um, and although the minimum wage is super, super low, like I think that these networks of community, you don't see extreme poverty in the streets. And speaking about standards of living, I'll go to my number 6. One thing that people value a lot here is beauty and aesthetics, and they like to take care of themselves. People work out, people do their hair, people do their nails. So they're after coffee shops, beauty parlors are the next most popular business. And the services are amazing. I have come to find that like anything you want to do here, laser hair removal, your nails, your hair, your pedicure, it's like top quality and it's super affordable compared to what other things cost in the country. So that's awesome. Like if you've ever lived in Western Europe or North America, that kind of stuff is expensive. So this is the first time in my life that I'm just like going to town. 7, let's talk food again. So this whole country lifestyle means that a lot of the products are super good. The supply chain for local products is literally like next door. Like I can get eggs from my next door neighbor. And I've had some of the best eggs I've ever had in my life in Kosovo. And the dairy products are super good. I've never eaten so much yogurt. So I am like really, really enjoying how good the quality of my eggs and my dairy products are. So it is definitely making my list. Number 8, I would say that as a foreigner, I came here expecting to mostly befriend foreigners because there are a lot of international organizations here. There's international schools, there's NATO, there are a bunch of people from all over the world. And usually, when there are so many foreigners in a country, you create these bubbles. I've definitely belonged to these bubbles of foreigners, aka expats, before. So I thought that that would just naturally be the case. But I have been blessed to attract local people and made really nice friendships so far in only 6 months with a lot of Kosovar people. And so far, I love my friends. And that has been great because I am a very social person. I need community. And that is definitely like the most important thing that will determine if I will have a happy life in this place. So it's actually super easy to make friendships. 9, me and my new friends love to party. Kosovo has an awesome nightlife. The city is pretty small, but considering how small it is, there is no scarcity of cocktail bars, restaurants, cafes, and nightclubs. And the electronic music scene is pretty great, and I love electronic music, so you can have a good time. And finally, my number 10, I love the fact that Kosovo has 4 very distinct seasons. Like, I lived in Brussels for a long time, and the weather there is just miserable because for 9 months it just rains and the sky is gray. And then there's like summer and it's super hot, but then it rains the rest of the year. But here I'm actually getting like the full experience of what fall is like, and then winter you have like snow, and then in the springtime you have the leaves and the butterflies, and like so you really like it really, you know how you learn about seasons when you're a little kid in like kid books, and then like all that actually happens here. So I'm enjoying that. So that's it. That's my list of 10 things. Ow. Really? I guess I'm gonna have to get a manicure now. um what was I saying? Yes, those were 10 things. There's a bunch of other things that are great. There's also some things I don't like, but we don't need to make a video about negative things, right? focus on the positive. So far, it's been great. I don't know how long we'll be here, maybe a couple more years. So I'm sure I will get to discover this country a lot more than I have so far. So follow me if you want to keep seeing a bit of what my life is in this faraway land. Thanks for watching. Besitos a toda mi familia. What up? Welcome back. Afternoon coffee is the best of the day. I choose afternoon coffee over morning coffee anytime. I know that's a crazy thing to say. Start with number 1. Why? Technical difficulties. Okay, I think I started off way too jippy ippy.